To Israel and Iran now, where the two combatants have been bombarding each other with airstrikes this weekend in some of the most aggressive fighting between the two nations in their decades of hostilities. The strikes come after Israel launched a massive offensive early Friday, targeting several sites in Iran, including its nuclear infrastructure. Neither side has heeded calls for de-escalation. Nick Robertson has the latest from Tel Aviv.
The very latest is the rescue and recovery effort with heavy lifting equipment, and lots of rescue teams on the ground in Beit Yam are still pulling their way through the heavy concrete and rebar that's twisted and piled up next to this 11-story apartment building that's literally ripped open like a tin can. 6 people, we understand, may be dead there. We were told that 3 other people were under the rubble, that rescuers were trying to get them out. They were aware of those 3. There were 4 others, they said, who were still missing, the whereabouts unknown, and almost 100 other people injured in that one explosion. And we just left that site in the last hour. But while we were there, the devastation, the scale of the devastation, this is much bigger, much more intense explosives, much greater amounts of explosives in missiles that Iran is using here than Israel has experienced in over 3 decades. You have to go back to the first Gulf War. Saddam Hussein firing Scud missiles into Israel then. For people here to have a sense of that scale of destruction, it is very big. The destruction rings and ripples out and rip through the community there. Hundreds of yards, houses that were 100 yards away, door frames inside the houses, concrete houses, steel door frames ripped off, window frames everywhere ripped out, the glass shredded, nowhere to be seen. So it was a sight of intense devastation. 13 people killed so far, according to Israeli officials, since these strikes began 2 days ago. 380 people, more than now, have been injured, some of those seriously. 200 missiles fired by Iran at Israel, 22 of them, according to Israeli officials, getting through. That's more than 1 in 10 missiles getting through. And we heard from the defense minister and the prime minister, who all came down to the site of that explosion today. And the defense minister using very, very strong language about taking the fight to Iran. The residents of that neighborhood in shock about what had happened to them.